Welcome to the Enjoy Life podcast. This podcast is about enjoying our lives by making the best of our current situation and being able to choose our mindset, our goals, and our actions so that we can guide our lives to go in the directions that we want it to go. In this podcast, I'm going to share with you information that I've learned just through personal experience, which, my mistakes and failures, as well as some of the successes too, obviously. And some of the things I learned from a little bit of formal education and with working with people to make positive changes in their lives. These are things that I'm trying to do in my life because it wouldn't be right for me to share things that for you to do that I'm not willing to do myself. Now, by no means am I perfect or have everything just right. I'm human too. So some of the things I'm going to share with you are things that I'm trying to do or I'm still working on improving, but it's still valuable information because if it can benefit me, then it might be able to benefit you too. I'm glad you're here and listening in. Just make sure that while you're listening in, you're storing things away that you can take action on to be able to move forward and take your life in the direction that you want it to go. Once again, I'm glad you're here, and let's get started. Well, hello, I'm your host, Nick Mazie. This is the Enjoy Life podcast. Before we dive into today's episode, I have a quick reminder. In the last episode, I mentioned something called that Healthy Habit Tracker. I think it's only available for this week. I might be available next week, but so definitely go ahead and get it. It's free. It's got a whole bunch of really good suggestions on different things that you can do, like really simple, easy tasks that you can do on a daily basis to either help improve your mindset, health, productivity. There's some ones on digestion, and you print it out, and it has different topics, and you kind of look at the one that you're interested in, and underneath that there'll be 5 easy, simple, like daily habits that you can start to improve in that area with a little calendar, a little schedule below where you check off as you make progress and do that healthy habit. Super simple, easy to follow. And like I said, it's free. So just go to nickmazie.com/UBHH and go ahead and get it. Like I said, I know it's available for this week and it might continue on to next week, but no sense in risking it. Just go to nickmazie.com/UBHH. All right. So in the last episode, we talked about the things that you tell yourself and that your brain ends up believing what you tell yourself. And I know this stuff's not, it's not crazy. It kind of makes a little bit of sense. If I continue to tell myself something over and over and over again, then I'll believe it. The problem is that it's easy to sneak in those negative things and they end up taking root and shaping our mindset and how we think and feel and all that. And without being intentional, it can go in the direction, we can drift in a direction that we don't want it to go. Well, so now today we're going to talk about another thing that your brain ends up believing and that sometimes we don't always catch. See, a lot of times it's easy to think that the brain is what is in charge, that the brain is what tells the mouth and the mind what to say. The brain is what tells the body what to do. And yeah, that's right. But the brain also believes not only what we tell ourselves, it also believes our bodies. And this one, when I first learned about this, it was really kind of surprising and it didn't make a lot of sense to me because no, my brain tells my body what to do. My body believes my brain. It's not the other way around. Well, it's actually both. It actually kind of goes both ways, that my brain can tell my body what to do, but my body's believing my brain is believing what my body is doing. How you act, and what you do ends up impacting how you think. And a big part of this whole podcast is mindset. If we want to enjoy life, we want to make the best of our lives, and and be able to do the things we want to do, and have fun, and to be who we want to be, then we have to address the mindset. And an amazing way to do that is by our actions. How we act and what we do. It's really simple. Act how you want to be. Sometimes we think about, when I become this, or when I become more healthy or better in better fitness shape, or whenever I become something, then that's when things are going to happen. Well, what if you just started acting like that? What if you did the things that the person that you want to become would do? What if you went ahead and started doing those things now? And so when I was in school, I learned about this neat little triangle, and it's just, imagine a triangle. It's got 3 points. And one of the points was behavior, and another points was cognition, our thoughts, and then the other point was our feelings. And what they were teaching us, when I was studying psychology, what they were teaching us is that those three different things, they interact with each other. And what it ends up doing is if you can change one, you can impact the other one. So today we're talking about our body and our actions and what we do. That's the behavior side. If we want to change our thoughts and our feelings, then a way to go about that is by changing what we do. Now, yeah, if you think in a different way, then you can act in a different way. But if you act in a different way, you can also think in a different way. And it was really interesting. So I was learning about that in school. And then kind of separate from that, but during the same time, is when I learned about Dr. Amy Cuddy. I Google her, and she has a great TED Talk. It's I think like 15 minutes long, and it is amazing. Or you can go out and get her book too. In fact, this is a good reminder for myself to go ahead and add it to the book list I have at nickmazy.com/books. Hopefully by the time this podcast comes out, it'll be up there. If not, I'll be adding it shortly thereafter. But Dr. Amy Cuddy, if you look her up, she's got great material. And her whole thing is about how the brain believes the body. And it ends up impacting how we feel and how we act and how we present ourselves and our mindset. Now, she's come up with these things called power poses. Or she hasn't come up with them, but that's one of the things that she studies as a social psychologist, is how we hold our body and how we stand ends up impacting how we feel and how we think. And these power poses, one of the ones that I used to do a lot in grad school before I'd give presentations and all that stuff is I would try to find a place to hide, and I would do the Wonder Woman pose. And yeah, it looks kind of funny, but I'd stand up with my chest, puffed out, my shoulders back, my head held up high, and my hands on my hips, standing like Wonder Woman. That's what it's called. That's what it looks like. But what's profound is that by standing in that power pose, a pose that shows confidence and certainty, by standing like that just for 2 minutes, she has shown by her experiments and her studies, she's shown by standing in a power pose for 2 minutes that you're able to actually decrease your stress hormone and raise that confidence in your body on a biochemical level. This is awesome just by standing in a certain way. And so I would do that before I had to give presentations. In school, I had to give a lot of them. So I would, like I said, I'd try to hide like in between class or maybe during a break if we had a break in the class because they were longer classes. And I would do that. And I swear it helped me out so much. What ended up being interesting is I ended up getting a lot of really positive feedback on my presentations I had to do. And I was nervous. I was so nervous because I do not like getting in front of people. Or I used to really loathe it. Now I've gotten so used to it. But especially during those days, I was so nervous in front of that group. But I learned that my brain would believe my body. And if I acted like I was more confident, if I just stood up straight and had good posture, and I practiced kind of acting like that I came across like that. And the more I came across like that to other people, I actually began to feel more like that. Now, you're hearing this from somebody that used to get really, really nervous in front of any group of people, and now I kind of like it because I've been able to overcome that challenge and that barrier. And I swear that acting in that way helped me to become that way, helped me to feel that way. Now, like I said, the positive feedback I got by, wow, you look so natural up there and blah, 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 and they didn't know that I was still nervous. But at the end of the day, I was able to do what I needed to do, and then I got a little positive feedback, and it helped me to do it even more. Now, Dr. Amy Cuddy has, I love this saying that she has, fake it till you become it. It's not fake it till you make it. But by acting in a certain way, or this is my kind of take on that, by acting in a certain way, you actually become that way. So it's more really than being fake, and it's more than just acting. You're actually doing what you want to do by simply doing it and not waiting for the feeling or the thought process or for all these other things to happen. You're just doing it. And we can apply this to a lot of other areas. If you don't see yourself as being healthy, which is a big barrier to overcome when you're trying to improve your health. But if you don't see yourself like that, what if you either do what we talked about in the last episode, which was that self-talk, and kind of suggesting that to yourself, like I'm improving my health, I'm getting better, and all that. You can use that self-talk, which is really great. I'm brushing over it right now because you can go back and listen to that last episode. I don't need to go into it right now. But you can either do that through your self-talk and what you tell yourself, or you can begin to do it with your body, and that way your brain will believe your body, and your body will be telling your brain, I'm getting healthier. I'm doing this just by acting like you're healthy. Well, what would the healthy person do, to keep their health on track? Would they go exercise? Okay, just do it. Would they, go get a salad and not the big juicy burger and fries, doused in mayonnaise and barbecue sauce and all that stuff? I had to add doused in mayonnaise in that because it really started to sound good to me. But I digress. So, what if you acted like how you wanted to be? Well, you would end up becoming that. If you acted like and did the things that a healthy person would do, you'd become healthy. And similar to what Dr. Amy Cuddy talks about, if you act, if you stand in a way that shows confidence, then you start to think like that. You start to feel more confident. So this isn't just becoming the person that you want to be, but it's also developing that mindset of the person that you want to be by simply doing the things that are in line with how you want to be. Our brain is always receiving cues from our body and where we're at, in the outside surroundings. It's always it's getting so much information, and that's how it ends up putting together how we think and feel. One of the neat things is, think about how closely related. I might get a little off topic with this one, but think about how closely related being nervous and being excited and being anxious, how kind of those things are really, really similar in how they feel. If I was going into a job interview and my heart started to pound a little bit and my palms were a little sweaty, well, then I'd be nervous. But if I were, about to kiss my wife for the very first time on our the very first time that we kissed, I think it was like date number 2 or something like that. And then I'm excited. Yeah, I'm nervous, but it's a positive thing. And this is a great moment. And sometimes it's just a matter of, shifting what kind of stimulus, what kind of information our brain is getting so that we can, navigate that situation how we want to, so we can be successful in the areas that we want. And I want you to put the positive information in your brain so that you can guide your life to go in the direction that you want it to go. And one of the great ways to do that is by acting like the person you want to be. If you want to have fun, if you want to enjoy what you're doing more, have you ever tried to just make yourself smile? It's funny. If you smile, you might enjoy what you're doing more. But if you catch yourself frowning with a negative scowl on your face, your brain is probably going to believe that. And it's going to be tough to enjoy what you're doing. Just like we talked about in the last episode, it's going to be tough to enjoy what you're doing if you're telling yourself you're having a terrible time. It's going to be tough to enjoy what you're doing if you're slumped over with a frown on your face and you're just looking like you're miserable. You're probably going to feel more miserable than if you stood up, put your shoulders back, smile, and just try to act a little happy. It's not that you're being fake. It's just you're being how you want to be, and then your brain will catch on. Then your energy will come back a little bit, and you'll actually start to enjoy yourself a little bit more. It doesn't fix everything. It's not a miracle cure, but you'll start to enjoy it a little bit more and have a little bit more fun, be a little bit more positive, have a little bit better mindset. And what might happen if everything was getting just a little bit better? So we all know that our brains tell our bodies what to do. But also remember that your brain believes your body too. And especially if you're having trouble shifting that mindset, shift the behavior, shift your actions, shift what you do, and you can end up changing that mindset. And then that can help you to do more of what you want to do too. Well, that's all I got for today's episode. Thanks for listening. In the intro, I said store this away and take action. No, but take action. Take action today. You can do one little thing. It might be a power pose for a few minutes. If you want to find out about that, just Google it. She is the foremost expert on that, and so I don't want to steal. I can't steal any thunder from her. But just Google either power pose or Dr. Amy Cuddy or her book Presence. Fake it till you become it. Act how you want to be, and then you'll become it. All right. And one more quick reminder, if you want some help with some easy, healthy habits that you can begin to add into your life, into your daily life, a lot of them don't take but just a few moments, and begin to experience some of the benefits of that because they add up over time when you have those healthy habits, just check out nickmazy.com/UBHH. All that is for the ultimate bundles, healthy habits. I love this company. They put out a lot of great stuff. So it's nickmazy.com/UBHH. Get your healthy habit tracker this week. And Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you again real soon. As always, you can go to nickmazy.com for more good stuff, and take care.